Hello, everyone. I hope you've been doing well. It's been a while since I've posted, about a month, and it's kind of stupid because I knew it was going to be a month. I figured I would post them every month because every week it's just kind of the same stuff. But when I saw that I hadn't posted in January, I was like, ooh, it's been a month. But I'm doing that intentionally because so far it is just kind of the same stuff. If anything new or exciting happens, I will absolutely make a post. But I think that a month video, because I am doing studying, I think it will be a little better for me mentally to be able to focus on my studies instead of trying to think about doing a video about my studies every week. It kind of just, it's like another task I have to do while trying to keep up with my studies, which has helped. I did go a week without it, and I think that was kind of the week I was thinking, oh, I have to get another video out. Um, but ever since I have not been thinking too much about that, I've been doing a little bit better. Still procrastinate, obviously, but without wasting any more time, I'm just going to go over some of the things here. Um, Continuing by the second week of the stuff, I'm still working on my workbook and my textbook. Then I did some basic shoulder and arm sketches. I'm very bad at drawing shoulders, so I need to get better at doing that. Don't think I ever will, but I mean, they look pretty good, in my opinion. I think I did pretty good. Let me move this over here. There we go. Starting to work on my kanji. I figured I'm going to learn the first 80 this semester and see how far that goes. I'm doing okay on them. I can recognize them, like I know what they mean. Like that's 100, that's 1,000, that's up, that's down. This one is left, right, in or middle, big, little, and month. But if you tell me what the Japanese word for them, I mean, some of them I'm on to. Actually, I do know these ones. I know I got them written here too, but that's Hyaku-sen. I mean, these ones I got, but I'm remembering the English version of what these symbols are as opposed to knowing what the Japanese pronunciation and use for them are. So, I'm doing all right. I think I'm pretty good at the first 1 through 10. Don't have to worry about that one anymore. This one, I still get a little confused with this one, but I gotta work on that. These ones I'm all right on as well as the next 10. So not too bad there. Did some more sketches. I do my figure sketches from Line of Action. It's a really good website. I do want to give you a heads up. There is nudity in it, so if you're not over 18 or you're prepared for that kind of stuff, avoid it. Or you can make sure that you select non-nude models too, if that's kind of your thing. But we're humans. I don't care. I mean, I'm not focusing on anything gross or anything. So that's where I get my the models from. And that's what I've been working on with those. I think I'm all right. I still feel kind of stale when I'm working on them. When I step back, like this one, you guys can't probably see it very well because it's very light. But I really like the way I did the figure on this one. But when I'm drawing it, I'm pretty stale. They have animal ones on there, so I try to do those. But as you can see, I was just not feeling it. But it is what it is. Trying to figure out the main character for my comic. I try and do that sketches on there. It's okay. I'm still working on it. I'm getting closer to the way I want him to look, but it's not quite there yet. So I did some of that. Did a couple of random sketches. I'm having a difficulty because I think that when I'm doing the Japanese language versus art, I think I'm using like different parts of my brain, so it's very difficult for me to swap back and forth between the Japanese and then the art side of it for me because I feel like I get really into the Japanese languages and learning the letters and everything like that, but then I swap over to art and I'm gonna get like brain fart. And so it's like, ugh, I need to get out of that. But it's been really hard to stay focused on any drawings. But as long as I just doodle something, it doesn't matter how bad it is, I guess that's better than nothing. Or maybe it's, damn, I don't know. I have not been feeling it lately. Did some more random sketches. Did some more of the workbook sketches from the textbook, just drawing faces. These are not really good by any means, but I mean, I had to do it, so just copying the faces out of the book, continuing where I said I was going to leave off. So that's what I did on that week, or that day, I guess. Doing some more figure sketches, copying more, and then just doing some freehand sketches here, just kind of letting loose, whatever. Um, Thursday's work, I think I was doing more out of my textbook. Yeah, textbook work. There's some, this one, I don't know what happened to her, but yeah, doing some more line of action face sketches and expression sketches. See, I don't know if we could see it. I can see it in my art. How it's just so just. I look at these pages, like I can go through all my doodle pages, and I can tell you when I had a good doodle page and when I had a bad doodle page. This was a terrible doodle page. I cannot. I just looking at this gives me anxiety. I don't know why. Just ugh. But that was the second week. I think I totaled. Let me see. Total 6 hours. That's almost 7 hours of the Japanese study on that one, and 3 hours and 11 minutes on the art side. I need to be doing a minimum of 4 hours every week um, for each subject. So I didn't make the art one. I don't think I've made the art one like at all this month. Close, but I haven't. Week 3, this was the week where I was thinking about making a video, and as you can see, I didn't do anything. Like, this is terrible. I did not do anything that week. This also might have been the week when I had, um, Monday, I had one appointment for one of my cats. Tuesday, I had an appointment for me. Then Thursday, I had another appointment for another cat. So that could be why that one happened on this date, too. So, lots of appointments. So, not much here on this one. Did I do any breakthrough arts? Nah, just some doodles, and then I try to keep up on my homework because I wanted to finish the first chapter. I want to finish 2 chapters of my textbook and my workbook by the end of the semester, and so I kind of, at least I forced myself to do some of that work, so it got done. Week 4, I did miss some, but I told myself I was going to make it up, so that's what all these red marks are. I did make it up. As you can see, for week 4, I did a total of 5.5 hours, and then I don't know why I just could not do that last 15 minutes. I got 5 hours here. I guess I must have done some math wrong back there. So 5 hours was actually was my minimum, but I still couldn't make up the 4 on that one. But I did more than I have been doing, so it's not too bad. Still keeping up with Duolingo. I've got 2 Kawaii Nihongo and Kawaii Dungeon app. They kind of work together. Well, they don't work together, but they're from the same people. It's a fun one to do. And then Kanji Study, that is a really good app in my opinion. So you can download it for free. And you can do the first 80 kanji. It's free. You go through that, and then they have various talking, reading lessons, quizzes, and all that kind of stuff you can do, multiple choice ones. And I think it's a really good app. To do the next grade kanji, you will have to pay to unlock them, and you have to pay to unlock other features. But every single feature in there, I think, is going to be worth it. And if you want to learn your kanji, I would definitely recommend the app and work out of it at your own pace, and then unlock as you need to go. I think that's kind of how I'm going to end up doing it. I think if you were to buy everything, it might be about under $100. I haven't done all the math yet, but I think if you're going to use it for the next 2 to 5 years of studying, it's absolutely worth it. Absolutely. Still going to be cheaper than going to college. So I do intend to purchase the next set when I'm done with the first set and I'm comfortable with them, but that's much later. But that's what I've been doing out of here. So yeah, I've done. I think week 4. Was that this last week, or the week 5 was last week? So I want to say that week 4, was I still working out of the textbook? Yeah, I was still doing textbook work. Okay, so I don't know what this is. This is Monday stuff, so I did kind of free for all kind of stuff on that one. Mondays I don't have one class specific or another. More random doodles. This is another one of those that kind of give me anxiety, but not so bad. I'm not happy with anything out of there though. Kind of got something cool out of here, something fun here, and I did enjoy doing this and that. So it was a little bit better of a doodle week. Just some pen sketches of anatomy because I've been doing mostly pencil sketches, and so the pen ones I think were kind of fun to do. Genki workbook. I think this was the last week that I finished up my chapter 2, but I do know where I had missed some things, so I have to keep going back and working on those. Understanding positions of words. Still working on random doodles. Kanji over here. I think this is the next 3, so I think I'm about 30 or 40 now. So I have to keep up with those. So you do forget. If you don't keep it up, though, you do forget. More doodles. These ones were okay. This one I kind of had fun doing. This was bored. I tried to draw a goat from memory, and it turned out horrendous. So there's that. This one I was pretty proud of, the way it came out. She's going to be the character for my comic. I like these things. I don't know what they are, but this was a good week. good, fun doodle week. I mean, it wasn't the best, but it was all right. I don't know what was going on that day, but it was good. Doing a horror, kind of drawing some horrible monster. Did some more line of action sketches. Some more line of action sketches. This is the workbook. I had to finish doing this. This is where I left off, so I haven't done anything else out of the workbook out of here. But the next page was to copy the anime eyes and then the kid drawings. So not too bad. Messed up a little bit there, but whatever. I'm just going to be doing that. Need to do that. Finish up that page too. Might do some of that next week. More random doodles. I kind of like this design. It kind of came out accidentally. Don't know what I'm going to use them for, but I do kind of like it. So that's a fun thing. I was thinking that, well, I'll mention that later on. I'll mention that near the end of the video. And would like your guys' opinion on something, but we'll move on from there. Remaining Genki artwork, not art, Japanese workbook, textbook and workbook stuff. So this was the last page of the chapter for Genki, and after that I had asked ChatGPT to create like a kind of like a test to go over my beginner stuff, and I got 48 out of 70, which is not really good, but they say I'm like an early N5, so it gives me the strengths, reading comprehensions, basic tense usage, sentence structure, etc. Need reinforcement, verbs and noun endings, writing full verbs, complete, blah, blah, blah. So I had ChatGPT create me a 1 week study plan, and that's what I've been working on all week. Last week, I did miss 2 days of assignments, so I'm going to try to go over those and maybe work on those today, but it doesn't look like I'm going to. I might incorporate them on my 30-minute study days, but I really got to catch up because I'm supposed to be starting my chapter 3 of Genki. So I might just do 1 more week of these studies because I still know I have some weak spots, and then I'll start the Genki. We'll go from there. Might be the best thing to do. But yeah, there's some of the oh, I read a story. I read a easy kids level story, translated and everything. I learned some cool things. So I'll revisit this later, but I just had to write it down, translate it out for myself, so I kind of understood how the sentence structure is, how it's written. Yeah. Plus, if I can recognize any words. More character art for my sketches for my character. Not quite set on everything yet, but I'm still working on them. Just sketches. More kanji study. This was like a randomized. So this was a part of the review on my kanji app. Whenever I have a review, if I have the space and area around me, sometimes I just do it on my break at lunch. I mean at work, sorry. But if I do have a chance where I have paper on hand, I will go through my review that they want me to do and write it down and kind of say it, pronounce it, and write everything down out as I'm doing the review. So that was week 4. Week 5. Now I didn't write some of these ones down here. Oh, actually, I did. I just wrote them in the wrong spot. I need to tally all this up. I've been using my points for stuff. I decided I'm going to use $1 a point instead of the way I had it before. So I need to subtract some points out. Yeah, whatever. We'll get to that part later. Anyways, ChatGPT. This is where I first started doing the exercises. 30-minute exercises for all my ChatGPT stuff. These are more stylized art things. I didn't use references. I just wanted to draw what I was feeling, and I just drew it out. Same thing here. I wasn't trying anything, just kind of seeing what I do from memory. More ChatGPT homework. Got to write off the list. I was having so much problem with these, but then it suddenly kind of clicked, and so I got to make sure I did understand it later on by doing another test. I'm doing more of those. More anatomy sketches, hand sketches. Started getting into. Some of them are okay, some of them are meh, but I started doing that. Obviously, it's going to be important. More kanji study. More random doodles. Don't really know what's going on with them. I liked this. This was like one of my favorite things I've drawn out of it, so I might revisit that later. Also, this thing was kind of cool. I might make it a character. Actually, I do intend to make it a character for my comic. It'll fit in well for something I'm working on. More pen sketches of anatomy, pen sketches of hands. This one I think is my best one. It's not perfect because I think that finger's too small, but I feel like this one actually has the depth that I've been trying to figure out a lot in doing this kind of stuff. So, and of course I like drawing the hand, so I drew it twice. That's a fun one to draw. did some feet practice because if you're gonna do hands, you're gonna do feet. And I'm gonna say I don't know what the hell is going on with these, but this was like the first image, and curled toes came up a lot, and I was confused. But okay, it has to be done. More homework. So this one I had to do a couple assignments. One of them I needed to do is write a short story, and I did. I had to write it in English first and try to figure it out in Japanese. I did use Google to translate a lot of the sentences for me, but I wrote down everything and why. I think the biggest reason why I had to do that is because I don't know what the words for a lot of these things are. So I need to know what the words are before I can make sentences. So I kind of cheated on it, but I did my best to kind of figure it out beforehand, or just Google, well, what's the word for this in Japanese, and then put a sentence together myself. And if I was wrong, I would correct it. So this is kind of where I left off on the ChatGPT homework. I need to write it out clear now, and I'll have ChatGPT grade my story and see how bad I did. And then once I've reviewed it and graded it and got it right, what I was thinking of doing is anytime I had to write a short story or something, I might just do a comic of that short story, because I am supposed to be doing comic work, and it'll give me something to do. And I feel like one of my issues with me doing art is I just don't know what to draw, and it's tedious, and I'm like, oh my god, what do I do? And that's why my doodles are kind of dead. But if I start doing short comics of these things, then it gives me a purpose, like a target, a goal to get through. So I have two comic ideas that I am wanting to work on, and I might start working them over spring break. It'll be this story, and then it's a hand practice comic, so we'll get into that later for drawing hands. So there's that. Tried to draw a couple more hands, wasn't feeling it, so that's why they're all bad and incomplete. I was just going through a moment here, like my art still feels incomplete. Tried to do a hand here, and that was pissing me off. It wasn't coming out right. I didn't know what to do, and this is madness unfolding here. And so I had to put the pencil down and go do something else. And then I did this thing because I was like, well, if I just draw whatever comes to mind, then something's going to happen. I don't know what it is. Quite frankly, I'm disappointed with it. I am not happy with it. I don't even know what it is, but whatever. So I had to put the pencil down yesterday. I was getting very frustrated with myself, so I had to stop. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I did in the last month. I guess I am making progress. It just doesn't feel like it. But I just have to keep telling myself, this time next year, I will be further on, depending on what I am, art or Japanese language wise. So I just got to keep imagining myself how much further I'll be this time next year, and hopefully I'll be proud of how far I've come. So that's kind of my struggle, is keeping up with it, the art and everything. This one kind of came out good. But yeah, so that's pretty much all for the last 4 weeks of work. Let me see. How much work was that? I think I did pretty good. I already have a good feeling about this semester's worth of work compared to the last ones, though, so I'm not really concerned about that. That's not too bad. Could do better, but I'm just, as long as I'm doing something, I guess that's what's important. So that's what I have for next week. I'll continue off where I left off on everything, pretty much. Go from there. Sorry about that. Got something weird on my hand. I'm not sure if my hand's bleeding or not. So that's pretty much that. One thing I did want your opinion on is I've been going through these, and anytime I do like a fun doodle, I don't need that anymore. I always like, if it's something easy and something cute or whatever, like I think I kind of want to sculpt that or whatever. So I don't know, it might be something that I probably shouldn't be picking up on, but is that something that you would be interested in seeing if I were to like take a break every now and again and just pick a random doodle, or if you guys wanted to pick a random doodle? Start off with something easy first, and I could like sculpt some of these things, because some of them would make cool little monster figurines. Can't find. Maybe it was in the last book that had the little ones. Yeah, I guess I haven't done too many doodles yet, but yeah, there were a couple things in my last book that I wanted to do. I think it'd be fun to have them, but if it's not something that anybody would be interested in, I'm not gonna waste the time. But maybe it's, I don't look at it as a waste of time. Look at it as a way to do some art differently, which I might have to do. Yeah, I might just do it anyway. Of course, clay costs money, so I'm gonna have to save up for some of that. But you know what? That might be a thing I'll do. Um, I'm going to wait a little while before I buy Clip Studio. I know I said I was going to. I technically can actually. But I'm gonna let payment settle down and kind of let year settle in a little bit, and maybe by summer, if things seem like they're doing okay, then I'll go ahead and buy Clip Studio. I think that's the one. I really want to start getting into doing some animations. I think that would be fun as well. And I want to start getting back into doing some digital art. But one thing at a time. So I'll get this semester done, see how summer's doing. I was thinking about doing summer semester, but maybe I'll take the summer off to go play with Clip Studio. I don't know. We'll see. But it'll help me get more into doing digital videos, maybe getting into live streaming because it'll be so much easier to set up um, for you guys to watch if that's something that you were wanting, if you were interested in doing that. But I think I've rambled on enough, so I think I'm going to call it good. Most from now on, I think I will be doing monthly updates on my assignments, and we'll go from there. Hopefully, by the end of the semester, I'll be able to, like I said, do some more fun things. I'm going to kind of in the background think of more engaging things, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. I kind of just play it as it goes. But I'll make an effort to make it a little less tedious. It's all the same kind of stuff. So, anyways, like I said, I'm going in circles. I always do that if I don't stop talking. So, have a good week, rest of your weekend. Hopefully next week will be good to you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.